Quick disclaimer. In this video, I have proceeded to call this Wellness Wednesday week 6. It is not week 6. It is in fact week 5. I just happen to be so excited to move on beyond this week, apparently, that I am prepared for week 6 and not week 5, which is what it actually is instead of what it isn't. Anyway, this is Wellness Wednesday week 5, not 6. Roll footage. Hey y'all, it's Lindsay, and I'm coming to you with my Wellness Wednesday for week 6 of 2021. I am Lindsay, and I do a lot of low-carb keto lifestyle videos here on my channel. As of late, I've only been doing Wellness Wednesdays because that's about all that my brain capacity can manage at this point. So if you are new, I am grateful and appreciative that you have landed on my video. If you find value here and would like to stick around, I would love for you to subscribe. To those of you returning, I appreciate you so very much. I don't know why you come back, but you're here nonetheless, and I am deeply appreciative of your time and your desire to come check in on me. So thank you very much. And if you find any value in the content that I am sharing today, I would love for you to thumbs up this video. And if you do not like this kind of video, I would love for you to thumbs it down so that I can get better feedback. So far, I've been getting positive thumbs up, so I'm gonna keep moving forward with that. But if at any point you feel this is unnecessary content, I would love for you to vote via the thumbs down or thumbs up. Okay, moving right along. Last week, I was unable to film a video ahead of time and be able to edit it and get it out to you by the time I normally like to upload videos. So I went ahead and went live, and I really enjoyed that time, and I wound up talking for half an hour, which is amazing to me at this stage of my life that I was able to talk in any sort of coherent way for 30 minutes. Mind-boggling. Okay. But I was able to tell you that I had lost weight last week, and I was down at 155.0. Now, this week, knowing that it was week 3 of my cycle, I tend to focus a lot more on my cycle right now as far as how are things sort of progressing throughout a month rather than just like, oh, well, it was like this for a day or it was like that for a day. I've been trying to piece together the pattern a little bit more dutifully so that I can anticipate things a little bit better and be a little bit more intentional with what I am doing. It has been a long, arduous process, no doubt about it, but it is slowly starting to pay off. And so knowing in my mind that it was week 3 for me, I knew what to expect. I knew to anticipate a little bit more bloating. I knew to anticipate a little bit more hunger, and I knew to anticipate more cravings for carbohydrates. And I think that all of that, I don't know if it's because I thought like, oh, I think this will happen, therefore it happened kind of a thing, kind of like a sort of a bias toward the thing happening because that's the pattern I've seen in the past. So am I still actually having that thing happen authentically, or is it just like a mind game at that point? I'm not sure. Regardless, those things did actually happen, whether it was because I put them on myself or because they happened and I just happened to notice them after the fact. But all of that to say, I did anticipate a lot of things. I anticipated the bloat and having tighter measurements, and I anticipated having a weight gain, and I anticipated just generally wanting to eat more food in the evenings. And I offered myself the patience to walk through that without any guilt or any shame. And I think that is pretty valuable, being able to go with the way that my hormones naturally flow and trying to go with the stream rather than swim against it during certain points in my cycle really means that I get less frustrated with myself and with my family around me. So I wasn't able to show you this last week because I was on the phone doing the live. Oh, are we gonna show it? Basically what I'm trying to show you here is that I was 155, but that's not going to show me that. So anyway, it was 155.0, and this week we got to, oh my heavens, there is the glare. How do I get, there it is, 155.6. So my BMI went up by 1/10 of a point, and my weight went up by 0.6 of a pound, and that is It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? It's not the end of the world as I know it.
I still feel fine.
Overall, I am up in general. Those are my numbers for this week. And I anticipated it. I anticipated all of my physical measurements to be bigger this week. I was up about 1/4 of an inch in plenty of areas, especially around my waist. That's generally where I carry all of my weight. And so it was an expected change in the numbers. In the month of January, I did not net very much weight loss, but I also did not have my cycle start at the beginning of January and follow through to the end of January. My cycle started sort of in the center of the month, the middle of the month, and I think it's not valuable at this point for me to compare like the beginning of January to the end of January because the hormone cycle was just, I think that matters a lot for me specifically. Knowing that, I have a gut feeling that I will still be a little bit up next week. And then the following week, I think that that will drop off just based on the hormone cycle. I've been really just trying to hone in on that hormone cycle thing. I have been doing a bit of a surface level dive into when in the menstrual cycle a woman should carb up or have higher carbs and lower fat. And the things that I keep consistently seeing are right after ovulation, around cycle days 19 and 20, in that sort of range. And then also at the very beginning of a cycle during days 1 and 2, having some carb up meals can really help to support a woman's hormonal fluctuations. And that makes a lot of sense to me because around the midpoint of this past week, I desperately wanted to eat all the oatmeal. I mean, I didn't. I did have a single bowl of oatmeal in the Trim Healthy Mama Way, and that was a fuel pull. It was the, oh goodness. I'm back. Oh my goodness, I was ill prepared to manage this video. I am so sorry. Okay, so this is the Trim Healthy Mama cookbook, the second one. This is the back of it. The front of it is totally meh, sadness because it has been used and used and used. So this one, the Sweet Dreams Cookie Bowl Oatmeal, that is a fuel pull on a Trim Healthy Mama way of eating, which means it is low in carbs and low in fat. And that one satisfies my desire for oatmeal whenever I have it. So I felt like eating that oatmeal was not going to do too much detrimentally to my body. And I did go ahead and actually pair that with some coffee that I put MCT oil and collagen into. The MCT oil just for the sake that MCT oil is fantastic. The collagen for the sake of protein. And yes, so that satisfied that desire to have the oatmeal, and it also hit at the proper point of my cycle to really make the most impact on my leptin hormones, which are the ones that are like the satiety hormones. And the ghrelin hormone is the one that tells you like, oh, I'm hungry, give me food. So let me set that down. All of that to say, I think that having targeted carbohydrates as a mid-30s female who still has the ability to reproduce, that is sort of where my brain is focused at the moment. And that has been largely helpful this past week to sort of be more patient with those cravings that I've been having and to know when to allow something like a bowl of oatmeal. I mean, it only has 1/4 cup of oatmeal in it, so it's not too terribly carb heavy, but being able to roll with that tide is really helpful. So the past several weeks we've been talking about habits, and this past week I was much, much better on all of my habits. I averaged 48 ounces of water per day for the 7 days, which means that there were a couple of days that I did not hit my mark and more days that I actually got close to it. Boy, it's been a thing. It's been a thing, and I'm okay with it. My 15 minutes of walking or doing some sort of gentle cardio, basically, that happened 5 out of 7 days. My planks happened 4 out of 7 days, and my reading happened all 7 days. Yay! So much, much better on my habit tracker and trying to be intentional with developing those habits. So I'm feeling much more confident in those at this point. We talked about the hormone thing and the carbing thing and the habit thing, and I think that's about it. We talked about the weight gain, and the measurements are up in general for the bloat. So be blessed if you're a man and you're watching this. Oh my goodness. Oh my word. I feel like men should really understand women's hormone cycles a little bit more anyway, especially if they live with women. And my husband has 4 females in his house, which equates to a lot of feelings.
So many feelings.
All right, we're gonna call it quits here. I really appreciate you coming along with me on this Wellness Wednesday, number 6. Look at that, 6 in a row. I feel like that deserves some kind of a coffee treat. I would love to know down in the comments if you have maintained your habit trajectories for this year thus far. We are 6 weeks into the year, which means that there is going to be a decline in momentum as far as habits are concerned. But because I'm focusing more on my hormone cycle and what point I'm in the cycle, I feel like that's where my momentum lies in knowing, okay, I'm in this part where I have got tons and tons of energy and focus and determination. I'm going to capitalize on it. And then we come around to the other side and it's like, oh, wait a minute. I don't have the energy or the focus. And that's where the discipline area comes in. And clearly last week's discipline was poor. This week, my discipline has been much, much stronger, and I think I'm better off for it. Wow, I went on another tangent after I said I was all done. Forgive me. Okay, that's really it, I promise. Thank you so much. I will see you in my next video.